Okay, we'll try this again. I think it's good. Select, refresh. Okay, I think it's good. Don't have a description, but I think we'll be okay. All right. Well, not sure who's going to join, so I'll give it a second. But essentially, in this video, I want to talk about using ChatGPT Agent to write scripts. Also, I want to talk about some other long form video ideas so that we're not just doing only sleep channels. Not everybody wants to do a sleep channel. They want to do maybe other types of content. And then lastly, what's up, brother? So I'll talk about the agent. I'll talk about long form videos, and then I will just kind of answer questions that I have on my posts and that I have gotten just kind of some on the videos. What's up, brother? How are you guys? All right, so let's start off with using ChatGPT Agent. So the biggest complaint I have been seeing with Claude is that it is not writing full scripts, or people are going to try to write a script with Claude and it just cuts out, or it only finishes part of the artifact and then disappears and they're not able to go back to it. So I've been trying to kind of look at some other alternatives that were cheap or free to be able to write scripts that aren't Claude, because I get it, I love Claude, but it seems like they keep kind of nerfing it, and it's only getting harder and harder to use Claude to write the scripts. So I was wondering if maybe ChatGPT could do it. Now, I've seen people talk about using Gemini and ChatGPT and writing it kind of in chunks, but I don't want to do that. I want to sit there and write, keep telling it to continue over and over again. So if you don't know that ChatGPT has an agent mode you can use, I haven't tried local LLMs. That is probably something I could probably look into. You could suggest which ones maybe to try, and I'll look into them. But for ChatGPT, I just know a lot of people have ChatGPT, so trying to use it to write the scripts, it might be viable, but you don't want to just sit there and keep doing continue. And the only problem I have with ChatGPT is that it's kind of cheesy sometimes in the way that it writes. Now, you could probably get better prompting. I just don't mess around with it a lot. I appreciate you, Mohammed. I really do. Okay, so I want to show you just kind of, I'm messing around with it today, and I kind of want to show you the results so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. So for the Lord of RPG channel, I was going to have it write a script for a video based on the game Xenosaga Episode 1. And so I told it, I told it I wanted it to research, and I did deep research on this. So that's kind of the other advantage that ChatGPT has, is it gives you a decent amount of deep researches every month. So I ran deep research with ChatGPT on this particular topic, because again, if Claude is kind of clipping out and we can't use Claude, then we want to try to find something else. So I ran deep research with this prompt to try to get it to pull as much information on Xenosaga Episode 1 as possible. So you can kind of see the prompt just to get an idea for it. The voice is low. You know what? I wonder if it's, let me just check, because I know it should be okay. I mean, it's maxed out. I don't know if I can actually increase it anymore. Desktop. Let me increase the dBs by like 3. Okay. Tell me if that's any better. Because I don't want to make it too loud and then it's blowing people's speakers out. So I increased it a little bit. Hopefully it'll make a difference. Let me know if it's not any better or if it's worse. Anyway, so I basically told it to research this topic, compile it into a markdown, which it didn't do, and to also label whether it's speculation or whether it's verified sources. And, of course, ChatGPT, every time I run a prompt in it, it always has to ask me clarifying questions. It doesn't just do what I ask, which is fine, as long as it only does it one time. So I had it, answer. It asked me the questions and I just answered them. Yes, I just wanted Episode 1. Yes, it can include, detailed arcs. It could also include, I really just wanted the narrative and the lore and then speculation, right? This part doesn't necessarily matter. I'm just kind of showing you its interaction with me. So then it finally said yes, and it ran the deep research. So it took me 24 minutes, which is a decent amount of time, but it pulled quite a bit of information. So you can kind of see the amount of information that it pulled for the deep research, which is pretty good. Like, this is what we want. We want a very comprehensive kind of report on the information, because this is essentially, the information that we're going to pull for our scripts. So whether you put this into, Claude or Gemini or DeepSeek or whatever to write your actual script, getting this kind of information from ChatGPT Deep Research is pretty spot on. So it pulled a pretty good amount of information. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down because we don't really need to keep looking at the information. I just wanted to show you that it did give me a good research. So it does a really good job. I appreciate that. And you know what? Notebook LLM, I haven't used it a whole lot. So I have used it. I don't even know why I have headphones on. I'm not even listening to anything. So I've used Notebook LLM a little bit, and I've kind of run like the explainer videos and the podcast thing. I know a lot of services are starting to use Notebook LLM to generate like fake podcasts. So I haven't used it a whole lot, but I do like it. I do like that it compiles a bunch of information. So I think it's actually good for that aspect. I've actually been thinking about using it because with Notebook LLM, you can actually, you can put a bunch of sources in and then have it create this explainer video. I think they're like 7 to 10 minutes each. I don't know if you can just take those and put them on YouTube and they're monetizable. I don't know how that works. But for the fact that it gives you kind of a full video based on information you give it, it's not bad. You could always take those videos with the voice and everything and then just maybe put some new visuals over it, and then it would definitely be monetizable. So just something to think about. And Notebook LLM is free as far as I know. It might be limited if you don't pay for the paid version, but that is a route to go. Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well. I appreciate that. Got to hang out with the family, and we put up our Christmas tree, so very cool. But yes, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. All right, so the information that we got from ChatGPT Deep Research is actually a lot. It's very good. I think my cat's here. Hold on a second. It's actually my daughter's cat. He's a tuxedo. His name is Bugs. But he's kind of a brat. So, bye, Bugs. Anyway, so the information that ChatGPT Deep Research gives, really good. A lot of information. I really do like it. And then you just take this, and then when you go into it, I think you can click this, and then it kind of brings it up, and you can download it as a PDF or a doc, and then you can put that into whatever you plan on having to write your scripts. So regardless of what tool you use, if you can put in information for the research, ChatGPT does a good job with deep research. So I will give it props there. So now for the writing. So then I told it that I wanted a video script of 12,000 words and that it had to plan the structure accordingly and so on and so forth. And it did kind of plan it out. And, again, this is not bad. But the actual writing of the script, I was not 100% kind of like happy with, I would say. Because it just starts out with kind of more of a story than kind of going over the information, if that makes sense. So I will say from a narrative perspective, it actually wrote like a decent kind of narrative style script. But as far as storytelling. So if you like storytelling, I would say ChatGPT is actually better at storytelling, and Claude is better at just writing information in a way that it's presentable, if that makes sense. It's kind of like they really are. If you look at the way that they answer, ChatGPT tries to be more friendly, and it's a little more beat around the bush. It's more accessible. Claude is a lot more straightforward. It's a little more academic. It's more information heavy. So in the way that they write, they approach things very differently. So I think for stories, ChatGPT can work for scripts. I'm not saying it can't work overall, but it definitely takes a more story driven approach. And if that is your goal, to get it to write story driven scripts, then I think it can work. So essentially what I did was, if we go back and kind of look at the prompt, I'll break it down a little more. But after I ran deep research on the topic for this game, then I told it, okay, now go ahead and, basically write out the script, structure it. I told it to structure it this certain way so we meet this word count. And that I wanted it to write it about this game, right? Xenosaga Episode 1. And it had to, adhere to all the project instructions, which we talked about in previous videos, where I have kind of my instructions on how it should write. I appreciate all of you guys. And then I just tell it, don't include titles, timestamps, script, anything, or scene directions. All right, we don't want anything that isn't the script, because we just want to be able to copy that script and put it right into Gen AI Pro. So it did, structure it in a way where it was going to reach that 12,000, and then it wrote it. And again, if you look at it, it's more of a story-driven script. So I think for me, I like Claude because the way it writes is more like about the information. So almost like more like a documentary, whereas this is kind of more of a story in the way, again, that ChatGPT writes. No, but we're going to take this script and we're going to copy it, and we're going to see how many words it was, because I told it 12,000 was what we wanted. I'm going to go ahead and paste it here on wordcounter.net, and we got 12,351. So it did meet the word count, and it did write, I would say not a terrible script. If I were to go the route of switching to this, it wouldn't be terrible. So I actually was impressed overall with running it. So again, this was ChatGPT deep research for the information beforehand, then answering its questions. It's going to inevitably ask you questions. Then after it runs all the research, then I put in the prompt for it to write the script with Agent. So whenever you go, you can see down here, I have Agent selected. So Agent will force it to actually complete a continuous task. And before Agents, this was impossible. You had to keep telling ChatGPT over and over and over again, continue, 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 right? But with Agent, it wrote this entire script in one go. And this is what we want, right? If we're trying to cut down on time and effort, this is essentially what we want. So this is a route that you guys could take if you're writing scripts and you're having issues with Claude. You definitely could try this route. So running deep research through Claude to get the information about the topic first, and then once you have the information, then telling it to write the script, according to whatever parameters you have, and using ChatGPT Agent to actually write the script. And then that's it. Then you can take this and put this into, a text document. And then I would put it into a text document as opposed to just copying directly to Gen AI, because it's got all these, like the footnotes or whatever, the links, the citations. And if you put this into a text document, it should remove that and just leave the text. And then you can take the text and then upload that into Gen AI. Okay. Yeah, don't subscribe to all the latest AIs, because a lot of them. No, I'm not going to delete this live after the live is done. It should be just on the page. It probably won't show as like an actual video. It'll probably just show as a live, whatever. But what I'll probably do is in my posts, I will probably just post a link to this live stream in my posts so that, people who missed it will see it. But anyway, so this is just a possible way to write scripts. If you're having issues with Claude or don't want to subscribe to Claude, you already have ChatGPT, maybe look into this. So using ChatGPT deep research for the information, and then once you have it, using ChatGPT Agent to write a 12,000 word script. Even when you tell it some rules before writing, it does not use them. Yes. And that's what I'm talking about. So I told it to compile the research and put it into a markdown document, which I know it can do. Did not do it. And I have, my parameters for the project settings in this, and it didn't do it. So let me pull this over here, and let me go to, I think this was actually another version of this that I tried, because I tried this twice. Let me go here and let me look at with script. Yes, I believe this is a different, maybe this is the same one. episode 1 setting. Okay, so this should be it. Okay, yeah, so if we go, so it is here, but it's not showing me my settings for the project. Anyway, regardless, yes, it doesn't always follow the instructions, and that is kind of my biggest frustration with ChatGPT is it just kind of does whatever it wants. So bottom line, it is a possible way to write a script if you don't want to use Claude. Will it follow all of your instructions? Not necessarily, but I think with better prompting, you can probably get it a little closer. You know, I'm not an expert at prompting. It's just one that I've used over and over again and kind of refined over time. Okay, what is my plan for YouTube? I will probably be doing more actual videos. So kind of like this, like I want to keep doing videos about YouTube and stuff on my main channel because I love YouTube. And, you know, in my last video, I talked about the future of it. I'm only saying that if they don't regulate AI, it's just going to become more flooded. Not that I hate YouTube or I want to see it fail or anything like that. I love YouTube. Like it's really the only social media that I use. And this channel's been on here like, I don't know, 10 years or something. You know, I think it's a great tool. However, I don't think I'm going to use AI as much. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to not ever use it. I just don't want to rely on it so heavily. So that's kind of my point. But anyway, I kind of want to move on to the next point because I'm excited because I was thinking about it and not everybody wants to do sleep channels. Oh, took my thumbnails. Yeah, I know. I actually left a comment in one of Devin's videos saying that he took my thumbnail. I don't think he ever saw it, but other people did, and I don't care. Like at the bottom, like at the end of the day, everybody kind of takes from everybody, and you know I could be upset about it, but what would being upset do for me? You know, it would just kind of make me jaded towards him. And I actually want everyone to succeed, right? So if he's succeeding and, you know, he takes from me, well, pretty much everybody kind of takes from everybody. So it's hard to say that any idea is truly original. I would say that he probably leaned a little more heavily on the taking as opposed to just inspiration. But again, at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. And you know, people who watch his videos, if they get something out of it and that thumbnail helped them find something that changed, you know, their life, then it's better for them, right? So it really doesn't matter. What's up, Echoes? Okay, so let me get to the next thing because that was ChatGPT, Deep Research and Agent to write a script if you're already using ChatGPT. The next thing I want to talk about is long form videos. Okay, so I was thinking about the whole sleep channel niche. And not everybody wants to do sleep channels. Totally understand and agree that my method isn't the only method, and especially not just for sleep channels. So I was thinking about what other types of videos could people make that are not sleep videos, but are similar, you know, basically the same format, but maybe we go after a different type of audience or we go after different keywords. So, yeah, that's what I mean. So Notebook LLM is probably really good. I just have not actually messed around with it enough. But anyway, so let's come back. I love reading the comments, but I'm getting off topic. So I'm going to move this here. So what other things could we, you know, create channels based on? What other keywords or types of audience can we make keywords based on that is not sleep? One that comes to mind is podcasts. Okay. Now this is probably not revelatory for anyone, but if you really think about you know, what's kind of blown up over the last few years is podcasts, right? And there are podcasts where it's not one person interviewing another person. It's just one person talking, right? So let me give you an example. You guys probably know Mr. Ballin, right? I love his channel. I like watching his stories. My wife is actually the one that introduced him because ironically, my wife watches all the true crime stuff. Maybe that's kind of troublesome. But anyway, she told me about Mr. Ballin. I started watching him like months ago, and, you know, he's a great storyteller. His story is actually crazy. But, you know, I love his channel. Well, Mr. Ballin has many channels, and one of the channels he has is his podcast channel. So I want to show you that now. If you've never looked at his podcast channel, it is literally a single image
Monday.com,
throughout the whole thing.
the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past.
Do you see this? This ad,
tried other
this
work
is
management
not
platforms,
scripted. Like, I
not
didn't
naming
mean for
names.
this ad to come up,
Eyes,
right?
any sort of
I'm gonna lower the volume just in case, because I apologize if that was loud. But it is just one image throughout the whole thing. Okay, one image. And he has like some effects in the background.
A few minutes later, Nikki walked into a...
That's it. And the podcast is just him sharing scary stories, right? Mr. Ballin. You should be able to see it down here. Mr. Ballin podcast. That's his podcast. Okay. He's not interviewing people. He's not, it's not multiple people talking. It's one guy telling stories. And the image does not change. The background changes, but not the image. And on top of this, all of his videos, if we open this up and go to a new tab, all of his videos are this, right? It's just this. That's all it is. And, he does do good thumbnails, right? But the thumbnail does not change. And remember going back, oh, it's a real voice. Yeah, it's his voice. He does his main channel, and then he does the podcast channel. He used to do only his main channel like a couple times a week, and now I think he's down to like maybe once, maybe twice a week for his main channel, and then this one as well. So I think he just goes back and forth now between the two. And look at his thumbnails. Remember I was talking about branding, that your channel is your brand, right? You have to kind of think of your whole channel, whether you're a business or not. You have to think of it kind of that from that perspective, that when someone sees your thumbnails, you want it instant recognizable. Okay. Now he says official podcast, right? So he's telling you what channel this is, because if you go to his normal channel, I don't know if he has a link to his normal channel. I'm going to open this and I will go to Mr. Ballin directly. Mr. Ballin. And we'll pull up his regular channel.
Today's story
so
has a very surprising
I'll just put it right there.
And I do sort
okay.
of tip off.
So I'm going to pause that. So if you look at his normal channel, right, all of these thumbnails are very similar, right? It's him on the side, and then it's like the images or whatever. So when you see this, it's Mr. Ballin, right? Because he's in the thumbnail. Well, going back to the podcast, it's almost the same thumbnail, only it has the word podcast. So he's telling you right up front in the thumbnail which channel this is. So it's instantly recognizable because the format's the same and it says podcast, right? How do you unshadow ban channels? I've talked about that. I don't know. I've seen methods. I've seen people talk about transferring it from one person, like one primary owner, to another, and then waiting a week and then posting on it. I've seen people talk about using like GoPro login, which is like like basically you log into it with different IP addresses and then you just switch between those within that. But I have not seen success with that. So other people say they have. I have not. So I cannot tell you how to unshadow ban channels, because I have shadow ban channels and I just start new ones. Couple channels like this, most successful is in a language niche, English. Okay. No, yeah, no worries. I mean, nobody wants you to share your channels if you don't want to. Can you use AI voice for podcasts? Yes, people do. That's the thing. People do. There's another channel. Let me show you this one. What was it? It was Warren. I don't know. Eat Fan Zone or something. I don't remember what it was called. Warren Buffett Fan Zone. I don't know. I thought there was some other word that wasn't Warren Buffett. So this is an AI channel. Okay, you guys could get into this. I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying it's possible. This is not actually. This isn't actually the actual real channel either. Let's see. Okay, so there's an actual channel. Maybe I can find it. Warren Fan Zone. Filters channel. Here it is. Warren Buffett Fan Zone. Okay, so this channel blew up. It was started okay, so it started almost a year ago. They only have 21 videos but 26,000 subs. Okay, this is not actually Warren Buffett. It's not actually Warren Buffett speaking or anything like that. It is an AI voice with AI whatever, like advice, if you want to call it that. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to close this. Now, the one thing I will say I respect about this is right up front, it says content is inspired by Warren Buffett. Okay. And it is not endorsed or created by him. I appreciate you. Good. Thank you for that. So this is, they tell you right at the beginning of the video that they use text to speech. That is for educational purposes. It is not investment advice. You know, all the stuff you want to put on educational videos. Do your own research, not Warren Buffett, all of that. They put that right at the beginning for the first few seconds, and then they go right into it. Let's look at the video and see what it is, okay?
What question?
It is a static image of Warren Buffett. It is the text of the video, which you could easily do in CapCut or DaVinci or whatever. It is just a looped background. And this little voice thing is not actually synced to the video. This is just like a wavelength. Now, I see what you're saying, tutorials, and I think it's possible that you're correct about them coming after these channels. So I am not telling you to do this. I'm simply stating that this is an AI voice that people are using. I think they're cracking down on these channels specifically because they are pretending to be these people. Even though they have a disclaimer, they're still leading people in the wrong direction. So I don't agree with it, but I'm just saying that people are overthinking this sometimes. This is almost actually, if you really think about this and this, okay, let's move this over. This is not much different than this. This is his real voice. And, you know, this is really him talking. But the format is not much different. Okay. This is a looped background, static image. This is a little stupid, I don't know, voice visualizer thing that you can find somewhere and just loop that as well. And the text of the video. That's all this is. That's what these videos are. 21 videos, 26,000. So I'm not suggesting you do this type of video. I'm just saying that it's not much different than this. Okay. So coming back to it, what types of videos can we make that aren't sleep videos that are like this, right? Besides podcasts. So I asked ChatGPT and Claude. So I asked them, you know, I told them I have sleep channels, right? They already know, but I just say it in there. And they tell me like meditation and ambient music and history and telling and all that, right? I was like, no. I don't want the niches. I want types of videos. Okay. So then it gave me some actually good ideas. Okay. Podcasts, like we talked about, interview compilations. Now, if you did some kind of commentary over those interview compilations, you could probably pull that off. Radio show style content. So if it was done almost as like a radio station, right? Audiobook style readings. So audiobook, but the audiobook is your own original content. But again, you can't just have a static image. You still have to have some kind of motion on screen. Essay videos, documentary narration. So it's narrating over a documentary or something. University lectures, deep dives, course content. So I'm guessing if you have a course or someone else's course that you have access to, that you have the rights to. Obviously we know about sleep stories, ASMR talking, affirmations, and then storytelling. Storytelling is a huge thing. There's actually a lot of channels that do storytelling that are like, it's basically, okay, so like there's a Lord of the Rings one. And essentially it's just, all it is a looping sprite of like a dwarf in front of a fire. That's the whole visual, just throughout the whole thing. And, they have the little flame particles. And then it's just them talking, telling a story, a fictional story in the world of Lord of the Rings. Okay. That is it. And it's, it's for sleep, but it's, ASMR storytelling or something like that. I don't know. My point is that it doesn't have to be sleep. It doesn't have to be. I asked ChatGPT the same thing, and they kind of gave me similar things, but I told it not to just use my interests, because obviously ChatGPT has memory, so it pulls your own interests and stuff. Philosophy or experimental storytelling, internet mysteries. It kind of told the same thing. Mythology retellings is kind of an interesting. Documentary, slow, true crime, campfire horror stories, tech predictions. That's kind of an interesting one. Psychology, stoicism. A lot of it is kind of the same thing. And then I kind of tried to dial it down. as opposed to the niche, I mean, the format, kind of like podcast, and it gave me some other ones, audio essays, long form stories, deep dives, timelines, free flow commentary or monologues. That's kind of an interesting one. Screen only note reading or script delivery, Q&A, debate where you have two voices, rants or opinions, and then thought streams, which I guess you would just kind of be talking to the camera or whatever. Horoscope videos. That's kind of interesting. I don't know much about horoscopes. I don't really delve into that, so I couldn't say. I will say that I am a Leo and Leo is the best, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's so funny. I didn't know that Dave Nick lost his channel. Did he really? I know that I know a lot of the channels like Sarah Finance and a couple. Make Money at Matt, I think, lost, or they were like in. I know they were possibly losing their channels. Oh yeah, it should have come up. You're right. This should have. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, this is probably not him. These are probably all like imposter ones. I did not know that he lost his channel. That's crazy. That's well, he probably lost his channel because YouTube is cracking down on claims. Okay. So for too long, people have put, I made XYZ amount in, whatever days or with whatever method or whatever, right? And YouTube is cracking down on that. In fact, I myself was seeing people affected by this and change my own thumbnail. So if you go back and look, the very first video I posted about faceless YouTube, the title was something like, I made $10,000 in 90 days with faceless sleep channels or something like that. I actually went back and changed it to just, I made money with faceless sleep channels because I didn't want any specific claims in there, and I don't want, YouTube to look at that and start breathing down my throat. So I kind of actually changed that and kind of getting away from the money side. I'm not really talking about the money as much in my titles and stuff. The thumbnails kind of, I've shown some of my revenue, but it's more so about how to make the videos as opposed to the money. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of these channels are getting hammered because they're making specific claims about money, and it's leading people astray, and people are losing money, and maybe they're claiming, maybe they're telling YouTube that these channels are spam or something, or scams or whatever. I don't want to be that guy, but also I understand why they're cracking down. I don't necessarily agree, but at the same time, it's YouTube, so we kind of have to take it. How are you guys? So many, I don't know. What's GoPro site to beat the GoPro login? Yeah, I think it's GoPro login. Let me take a look. I think that was what it was called. Oh, maybe it wasn't GoPro login. Maybe it was just Go Login. Yeah, I think it was Go Login. Sorry. I apologize if I misquoted it. You want to hear something kind of funny about that? These people actually reached out to me to sponsor them. So I told them that I wouldn't have time to review the tool in time, but these people actually reached out to me. So I didn't want to promote a product that I didn't know for sure worked, because again, I tried it with a shadow ban account and it didn't work. So I didn't want to take the money, promote the product, and then it still didn't work for shadow bans. Does that make sense? So I don't know if this works for sure. It didn't work for me. Other people say it does. So you can definitely try it. If you have great results, let me know, and then maybe I'll reevaluate. But yeah, these people actually reached out to me to do a product placement. Okay, so you need a laptop to start it. Well, I apologize. I don't know what to tell you. I can't really send you one. So the only thing I can say is you could technically start making videos on a phone. A lot of people do start making videos on phone. I think the easiest thing to do with a phone is probably vlogging or commentary of some type. I apologize. my dryer is going off and it's playing that epic piano song. But yeah, I would say if you don't have a laptop, you don't have access to a computer, probably start with a phone and just either vlog or do some kind of commentary where you can react to something on the phone and record that and then put it together maybe in CapCut. I know there's people they do very simple vlogs or commentary, and that's how they do it. So going back, yeah, this is what I was talking about. You can log in all your devices on this, and then like each one has its own IP address. So if it works, great. I wish you guys the best of luck. As far as this guy goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure that he and some other people lost their channels because they made specific claims about money, and YouTube doesn't like that, so they're cracking down. This channel right here, not suggesting it, but my point was that, if Mr. Ballin has a podcast, then Mr. Ballin's not going anywhere, right? They're not going to take Mr. Ballin down. But if he has a podcast where it's just a moving background, a static image, and a voice, this is something to try. I appreciate that. Yeah, Gen AI Pro is, dude, for the money. Gen AI Pro is pretty good for the money. Way cheaper. I have to tell you guys. So when I started the sleep channels, I was using TubeGen, and then TubeGen just got super expensive. So then I started using TubeGen to like write scripts, and then I would use it just for the voiceovers. Then the voiceovers were expensive, so then I just started using I tried Hume, and I tried a few other ones. Hume was actually like good as far as the quality, but I just kept having issues rendering, so like I had to stop using Hume. I actually got on a call with them and was talking to them, like video chat with their development team, and told them all my issues, and they were working on it, but I still had issues after like a week or two after talking with them, and I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time. So Gen AI, like, super money saver. Did I ever try Spotify? No, because Spotify is harder to get onto. I know they accept AI. In fact, they're heavily influenced by AI stuff, but I don't want to have to go through all that to try to get verified on Spotify. Like, there's already so much stuff on there. I just don't even want to. Sleep channels are performing really bad. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many of them. Everybody's, over the last few months, since tools like TubeGen came out and kind of methods like mine have kind of surfaced, there's just a lot of them. So it's really hard to kind of break through if you're doing what everyone else is doing. This is kind of why I talked about ideation. Like, you have to find something that is different about your sleep channel. Like, if you just do history like everyone else, which is where a lot of the attention's going, then it's probably not, I'm not going to say it can't work. It's just going to be an uphill battle, right? So you have to find something that really nobody else is doing. So I would, look at maybe a broad niche like history, but then see how you can dial that down and start looking to see if there's other channels like it. If you don't see a lot of channels like that, then kind of run that, right? You can use tools, you can use AI, whatever. But yeah, I would do that. Or kind of like what I'm talking about, other long form things that are not sleep channels. So, I can, I just ask like ChatGPT or Claude, whatever you use, just tell it, like, I have a sleep channel, but what other types of long form channels could I make? And then just specify the type of video, not the niche, and, like podcast. Like I said, this is his podcast, just an image, video background, and I think there's light music, and then it's just him talking, but you could use a high quality AI voice. It's literally the same thing as a sleep channel. I bet you people probably put stuff like this on for listening to go to sleep. Gemini 3, build your own tools. Yeah, I probably could. I don't have like a whole lot of time to mess with it. Like, I did this stuff with Claude for the image thing. I probably could mess around a little bit more with Gemini. I guess I was so enamored with Claude that I used Claude a lot, but Gemini, I heard Gemini 3 is actually a lot better, so I could probably try it with a little bit more. CapCut is probably easier to use, yes. I just have Pro DaVinci, and that's what I've used for years, so that's just what I use. Did they delete tracks on Spotify? Well, it's kind of surprising because I think that Spotify pushes a lot of their own AI content. So unless they're trying to capitalize on their own market share by having more of their own AI stuff so that they can kind of, basically take all that stream money away from everybody else, that would make sense. But I mean, some of the number one artists in the world on certain track or certain charts are AI artists. So, Max was down yesterday. Oh, okay. The site was under maintenance. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, Gen AI, even since I started using it, they've improved it. So probably, they're probably working on it, I would assume. CapCut owns, I didn't know that CapCut owns the right to your stuff. I hadn't heard that. I guess it wouldn't surprise me because every company's trying to own everything and you will own nothing and like it kind of thing. So that would make sense. I just like DaVinci. Still doing lives on your other channels. So no, because it doesn't make any money. Just to be 100% blunt, the live streams, I strictly kind of strategically use the live streams for getting the watch hours and getting, the time up, and getting new viewers to the channel. But for money, it is just terrible. So you could just set it up and leave it and make passive money. Depends on how many people you get to the live streams, but eventually it's going to loop to the point where they've already seen that content anyway. So for getting the numbers up, I think it's good. For making money, it's not. Have you tried shorts, and what do you think about? Okay, so I have tried shorts on a few different channels. I've tried AI shorts. I think they're garbage for the most part, right? And I say that because a lot of them are just like, they're, history or they're dark crime or whatever. So using AI, I don't think that a lot of that is going to really take off as far as like the older stuff. Some of the Sora videos I see getting a lot of views. The thing with YouTube and a lot of these tools is I believe that they're starting to crack down on strictly Sora videos. So meaning if you just take a Sora video and you like, even if you take the watermark off, because there's websites that take the watermark off. You can go to sorrywatermark.com, take the watermark off and then upload it. I believe they can still tell that it was Sora AI because of maybe something with the file name or something with the coding or something. I don't know. So what I would say is that if you're going to run, AI, still run it through another program like DaVinci or CapCut and add something to it so that it makes it unique. What I've seen people do is they do ranking videos, where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're all Sora videos, but they rank them. So it's like they took those videos and then ranked them and then made them their own. But I heard even ranking channels are kind of getting turned down or taken down like left and right. So as far as shorts go, I do think that original content can make shorts. I actually have an idea for doing some shorts, not on this channel, but on another channel that I have. So I have, a Christian channel. It's called A Soul Redeemed. And I was thinking about that channel's kind of dead as far as, posting on it. I might post to it again, but I was thinking about some ideas of how I could, create content on that with shorts and, kind of see where it goes, where I would do viral stitches. So, you take the first few seconds of a viral clip and then stitch into it. You've probably seen this on Instagram a lot more where like businesses, they'll take like someone like water getting splashed on someone and then that person is the person that they're getting the water splashed onto to talk about the business or something. So I was thinking about using viral stitches for Christian content, but not sure. We'll see. We'll kind of see how it goes. I do think that shorts are going to be pushed more heavily. I kind of talked about this in my last video. Shorts are a lot cheaper for the company to run. Think about it. A 3-minute video is a lot cheaper to host than a 3-hour sleep video. So I don't think they're going to necessarily stop people from uploading long videos, especially if those people continuously perform. But I don't think that they're going to prioritize them as much. So this is why we have to differentiate. This is why we have to come up with unique ideas on how to approach saturated niches. Okay. Thank you for showing your channels. No problem. Like, it doesn't really matter to me anymore. So I don't really care. Yes. So if you want your channel reviewed, put it on the post that I did where I was talking about channels getting reviewed. I think it was here. So it was this post right here. So if you want your channel reviewed, put it here where I was talking about this a couple weeks ago, because I'm actually going to go through here and start reviewing channels again. I don't know if I will in this live stream because it's already going longer than I expected, but put it on there. I do plan on reviewing more channels. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so kind of moving on. Text-to-speech model, as far as I generally just use, oh, okay, you're asking him, no worries. Do I post on TikTok? I have, but I don't, because I don't really specialize in short form, I don't really post on TikTok. So I do have a channel, but I don't really, I linked to all my channels to the same channel. Are you talking about, oh, Devin? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So it is a problem. So I don't want to say a problem, but it is a risk that you run, that if all of your channels are linked to the same account and that one gets taken down, then it is possible that they will take down all the channels. So I talked about this in a previous video. I had a channel removed for circumvention, which I wasn't doing it, but they took it down anyway. And it affected channels not only on that email account, but other email accounts. And I had people tell me that it was because the IP address was the same IP address on all of those, which I'm not 100% sure that that's true, because I had other accounts on another email and I was logged into all of those accounts on the same device. So I don't know for sure that it is IP address. Maybe it could be that it was the ID. I'm not 100% sure. That's kind of what that Go login is for. So that's what tools like this is for. So basically you sign up with the Go login, you create an account with them, and you can basically log into all those devices, and each one has its own dedicated IP address. But even still, I don't know how that would work, because if you created the accounts on the same email at the same IP address, I don't know that it would matter. I really don't. But eventually I did get all my channels back. So I posted about how to appeal getting your content removed for circumvention. If that happens, wait a week before appealing. Do not appeal right away. And I know emotionally you're going to want to, but give it some time. And the reason is because they probably will not actually look at your channel. They'll probably just reinstate it unless there's an actual issue. But if it was just a glitch by the AI, then they'll probably just restore it right away. If you do it right after you get it, taken down and it gets human reviewed, then they may just leave it down. So if you get it taken down, wait some time and then appeal, because more than likely they're not even going to know what the issue is, probably because they get so many channels. So give it some time and then try to bring it back. Free alternative for 11 Labs. Yeah, you could use the Google AI Studio. That one's free, and the voices are okay. And I kind of talked about this with somebody else. So if we run, let me see. It's funny. I have all these as bookmarks, but then I don't remember where I put them in bookmarks. And we'll run Google AI Studio. I think it's here with the voices. Well, I don't know where it's at now because they changed. But with Gemini 3, they kind of changed their layout. But you could create a voiceover of this text. Hello. See if that works. Oh, this is going to make an ad. Never mind. Okay. So Google AI Studio, they do have their voice to text. Let's see. I don't know where it's at now. Oh, yeah, they do have video understanding. Transcribe audio, generate speech. There it is. Okay. I don't know if you have to put it in quotes now. looks like it's running over here. Well, they changed the layout, so I don't know exactly where it's at now. But you can search, Google AI Studio text to speech or something like that, and they have a text to speech model that you can use for free. So there's free voices in there that you can use. The Gen AI Pro is pretty cheap. I mean, you can put $5 on it and you get a pretty decent, run with it. But once you get a voice, so regardless of how you get your voice, if you use a cheaper model, you can actually run that voice through Adobe podcast enhanced speech. You can just Google this, like enhanced speech Adobe, and it'll give you this, and you can drag and drop that voiceover into here. It may be capped. It may stop you at a certain like size of file or a certain length, but this will actually enhance it. So it adds like it'll kind of take out some of the noise. It'll add a little bass to it, so it'll actually sound better overall. So this is free to use up to a certain point, and then you would have to pay for it. But even it's not even that expensive for this either. Like this is like $10 a month, I think, and I did use it. My wife and I actually have a podcast about like Christian marriage and stuff like that. And we did use this for a while when we were doing our podcast, and it does help quite a bit. So, because at the time I just had like low quality mics, so we'd run this and it would help out a lot. So Google AI Studio, I don't know what it's running. I guess I just chose the wrong option or whatever. Oh, okay. Well, I guess maybe it builds its own thing. I really don't know. I have not used Gemini 3 that much, so
Hello,
forgive me.
this is a demo of
Okay, well, I'm going to cut that out. But I guess they have their own tool. It looks like it made its own, but, that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Point being, Google has free ones. There are other free sites, but regardless, you can run them through here and we'll clean them up a little bit. So, okay. Videos are very long. They wouldn't do it at 11 Labs because they would be too expensive. Yeah, so 11 Labs, it is expensive. I mean, they are quality, but again, that's why I switched to Gen AI Pro, because you get so much more for the money, and it has a lot of those voices already built in. So the only thing that kind of sucks about running Gen AI Pro is that there's no custom dictionary, so you can't put in custom pronunciations. But I've had a lot of people even tell me on the Lord RPG channel that they actually don't care if it's mispronounced. The biggest thing that they don't like is if it's mispronounced different ways in the same video. So if it's pronounced one way at the beginning and then a few minutes later it's pronounced another way, that's kind of like what they don't like. No, I don't sell courses. I kind of said that in a previous video. Like I felt like I should not, and I have not. So I will not sell any courses. I have videos that kind of show the whole process from beginning to end. But making money with newsletters, yes. I'm going to be straight honest with you guys. I think YouTube automation is a terrible business model. Like, I just love YouTube, and I made something work that I didn't expect to work. So I shared that, and people kind of really were excited about it, and I want to help people if I can. As far as making money on YouTube AdSense money is not a good model to make money with. If you're going to go YouTube, you probably want to at least promote some other things, like a newsletter. Like if you have a newsletter is definitely better, because in fact, so I'll kind of tell you a little bit about my background. So back in 2008, I promoted websites. I think I talked about this in my last video. So I used to build blogs and rank them in Google with SEO. And when people would come to these blogs, they were based on different niches, but I mostly was in the kind of like internet marketing niche. So like affiliate marketing, newsletter marketing, digital products, that kind of like realm. And I had a site, and the site was getting hundreds of thousands of views every month, like hundreds of thousands. And there was a point where I was making I started making dozens, then hundreds a day. And then there was days where I was eclipsing $1,000. But Google changed their algorithm overnight. They call it the Google slap. And they basically, Google slap was more the AdWords. But anyway, they did an algorithm change, and overnight, all of my sites just disappeared from the listings, almost like this whole YouTube thing. So all my sites disappeared. I was stupid and I didn't build up a newsletter because I was prideful and I thought that the money would just keep rolling in. So I didn't build up a newsletter. And when the sites kind of got obliterated from the rankings, I lost all my revenue, all of it. And I didn't have a newsletter to fall back on. So all these people who are getting their channels taken down that don't have a newsletter, it's like they have to start from the ground up because they're not able to reach those people. So I think that people should have a newsletter because then you can keep reaching out to them. So having a newsletter, good idea. YouTube as a money maker, I don't think that YouTube AdSense is a good way to make money. Can you make a decent amount? Of course, with the right strategies. If you put things in place, you put in enough effort, yes. Is it the most efficient or the best way to make money? Probably not. If you want to make a lot of money, either promote affiliate products or probably sell digital products. I just hate selling. That's my thing. Okay. So, Beehive. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I know about Beehive. So you basically you have a newsletter and then, people can advertise on your newsletter, right? That's awesome. I really think that's a cool idea. Yeah. Setting up TikTok and, YouTube Shorts or whatever, or Instagram, and promoting your newsletter. I think that's really cool. Actually, that's probably a much better business model, honestly. So if you could find affiliate products or create some digital products, super easy with AI now, to sell in your newsletter on top of those sponsors that you're getting. Yeah, absolutely. That's a much better business model than YouTube. Okay. So then which AI would the sleeping documentary makers use? Because I'm not sure what you are asking as far as what to make. If you mean just for voiceovers, then I use Gen AI. As far as making a full documentary, you could try to use TubeGen, but it's expensive. There's another one that someone is coming out with. I think it's called VidRush or something. I saw some other YouTube automation guy talking about it. He's coming out with a tool that basically it actually creates the entire video for you, and it will actually make realistic looking kind of video clips, or it'll pull real ones to fill it. And these are long form videos, like hour plus. But he said it's not released yet. And, he wasn't allowing people to use it. He was just kind of showing us. So I think he's teasing it. I think it was called VidRush or something, but supposedly that one is probably going to rival TubeGen. But that's cool about the newsletter. What is a newsletter? It's an email list. So essentially a newsletter is if you sign up to an email list and they send you daily emails about stuff, that's a newsletter. Do I have advice or tips for step 2 of monetization, duplicate accounts? Do you mean because of the AdSense thing? You can only have one AdSense account? So I don't know what to say about that, actually. I only have one AdSense account. You're not allowed to have two. So I've never had to. Now, if you buy an account from someone that's already monetized, then sometimes that's linked still, and you can go in and change it to yours after a certain point. I've never had that issue, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can try to reach out to YouTube support on Twitter, or you could try to, if you have a monetized account, you can actually chat with somebody, an actual person, not an AI, and ask them hey, it's getting stuck on this. How can I clear this up? Although they tend to not be that useful. So I'm not sure. I've never had that issue. And yes, to be honest, I have bought a monetized account before and then was able to switch it just fine. So I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Did you have two AdSense accounts at one point? Because if so, then maybe the only other option is to put it in someone else's name, like a spouse or a family member. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying maybe it's an option. Chris from Vid Society and AI Wise Mind. I don't think so. I mean, maybe. It sounds familiar, but I don't know them specifically. So there's a lot of AI automation people out there. So I don't remember all of them. And the big thing is that everybody has different advice, right? So you're trying to follow all of these different people's advice. And the thing, one of the reasons I put out these videos for free and like just show everything is because what pisses me off about a lot of these YouTube automation guru guys is that they basically just keep giving you information that they themselves are not using, right? So like, oh, here's 20 channel types that you can start today. It's like, do I want to follow someone who just keeps telling me new channel types, or do I want to follow someone who keeps doing the same thing over and over again and seeing results, right? Does that make sense? Because yeah, I could show you 50 niches that make, you know, $10+ per, you know, RPM, but like, am I doing that, or am I just showing you, right, to sell you on something? But this is kind of like the whole point of my channel and showing you everything that I've done, because I actually did it, and I did it over and over again. And I you know, I'm kind of getting away from it, but I still technically do it. So, you know, I did that and it worked over and over again. So that's why I showed the one method. And here I'm even saying that there's different kind of, you know, approaches you could take to not just doing sleep channels, but you could do podcasts, or you can do, you know, commentary. I even talked about commentary in one of my videos, but it's the same format, right? It's just the same thing over and over again, just a different style, a different packaging. So, you know, doing this podcast like this, kind of like Mr. Ballin, where it's, you know, the animated background with an image and a voiceover. It's like, it's the same thing that I'm doing, just podcast instead of sleep, right? So it's the same thing. So that's what kind of pisses me off about a lot of these guys, that they just, I'm not saying they're not successful. I'm not saying that they aren't, you know, they don't practice what they preach, but a lot of them just show you different things over and over and over and over. And it's like, it's confusing. It's confusing. And I'm that guy that has dealt with shiny object syndrome, where I've tried over and over and over and over and over and tried all these different like types of videos. I mean, you've seen my channels, and that's not even all of my channels. All of the channels I showed in my last video, I still have probably 10 to 12 more channels that I didn't even show in that video. So I've tried a lot of things over the years, and you know, it's easy to get caught up in that and get confused, get overwhelmed. Just, you know, this is why I tell people, just pick a style and go. And, you know, put up videos. And if you just don't see any results, and nothing happens, it's like if you let's say you put up 20 videos, right, and you are not seeing results at all, start a new channel. I mean, what do you have to lose? Because if you're not already getting views on that one, well, then just start a new one. And maybe the channel is shadow banned. You can test it, because if you're not getting any impressions, then you could take one of those videos down, create a brand new channel, and then put it on the new channel. You know, you can let it warm up, or you can do any of that stuff. But what I'm saying is that you can take a video and move it to a new channel and see if it gets views on a new channel. And it's funny because, yeah, NAN. Okay, so thank you for bringing up NAN. I'm going to come back to that. So my point here is I actually did this. So I showed in my video the true crime channel that I have that's shadow banned, right? It's not getting any views. It may not be shadow banned, but it's limited, and I'm pretty sure it's because it failed the monetization for reused content. Because if you're just coming into this, I paid someone to build a channel. They had a bunch of external traffic. When we tried to get it monetized, it failed. I think that handicapped the channel right then and there, because all the videos after that, no views, very few, like maybe 2, maybe 8, whatever, but it's getting impressions, and the thumbnails aren't terrible, but they're not great either. My point to that is, I think that channel is cooked. I put a short on there. The short got 0 views, 0, which shorts should get some kind of views, Maybe it's not a lot. Maybe it's, you know, a couple hundred, maybe it's 100, maybe it's 60, but shorts should get views. I moved that short to another channel, and it got like almost 1,000 views, which is not good for shorts, but it proves the point. It was the same exact short, same exact title, same exact everything. Moved it from one channel to another, and it got almost 1,000 views. So my point is, if the channel is cooked, the channel is cooked, and it's unfortunate, but you could just start moving that content to a new channel. You don't want to have duplicate content, because Google will penalize it. But what you do is you just take it off of that one, you know, private it or whatever. And then, you know, if you still have the files, just put the files on the new channel. And then as soon as you start uploading it on the new one with everything the same, delete the old one, right? Or you can download it from that account, copy and paste everything, upload it, and then after it's uploading, or, you know, while it's uploading, delete it from the old channel. I have done this, and I have seen videos go up in more views on a new channel than the old channel because the old channel was cooked. Now, let's talk about N8N. N8N is so confusing. Now, I know that some people are really good at it. I get that maybe I overthink it. I tried to use it for a few different automation sequences, and dude, it broke me. Like, I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. I will pay somebody to do this, because there is so much you can do with it, but also there's just so many moving pieces that you have to integrate to get these flows to work, that it's too much for me. Now, there's some people that really enjoy that stuff. That's not the part I enjoy. Like, I enjoy just creating, putting the stuff together and kind of working through some of the visual aspects and stuff like that. So I enjoy that. I enjoy this, talking and going over things, analyzing things. So for me, I don't like N8N. It is a great tool, and it's probably the future. Chains like that, make.com or, N8N or some of these other workflow agents, they're probably the future, but I am not there yet. But there is so much that you can get lost in, and there's so much you can do with it. Like, if you understand it, you can do so much with these, these workflow tools. But again, I'm just not there yet. I'm kind of a simple guy, and there are ways to automate these types of videos that I make. But one of the things that I like doing this is I can at least say that I had human input in the videos. So rendering them myself and finding the pieces and putting them together, if it got, taken down, I can make the argument that there was human input and it wasn't fully automated. Zapier, yeah, that's also true. Proxies. So I don't use proxies, but if you're talking about putting your channels on them, I talked about it here, the Go login. So I don't use proxies, and it's probably, kind of bitten me in the butt. But I haven't used them. So I think, so I probably won't get into the channel reviews, like I said, tonight, just because I've kind of been on here for a little while. But I probably will come back to it on another night, and I will just review channels kind of one by one. Let me pull this over. I think I had questions, and I was just going to go through some of the questions, and I'll just kind of answer them quick. Okay, so I'll just kind of run through some of these questions because I get a lot of the same questions over and over again. Down learning to make my own AI assistants. MCMs? I'm not sure who put MCMs in here, so I couldn't say. Oh, yeah, no problem. I enjoy sharing it. Okay, so that's not a question. Not a question. Not a question. Oh, okay. So this is you. What do you mean first YouTube automation streamer? What do you mean by that? Because since you're in the chat, like, what do you mean by that? We'll come back to it. Okay. So this is one that I wanted to answer. So where did I get the song to monetize? Okay. So I don't remember. Let me see if I can find it. Zelda. So somebody asked me where I found the Zelda music to use for the videos. Was this one? Okay, so in my last video, I talked about how I had a game music channel where I extended game music. It was from this site called Zophar's Domain, and they have a lot of old gaming music on it. So if you ever just want to listen to old gaming music, they have it here. But they also have the files, so you can download those. So that's what I did. I downloaded those and then used Adjust to length out the song to an hour, and then just put an animated background in the background for it. It's funny because I've never really used Mistral locally. I used it to write not a large part of my book, but a small part. Mistral's okay. I would probably have to test it out more to to really understand it. But I guess I could always try local Mistral instead of paying, but I already have ChatGPT. And again, yes, I could test this out, but a lot of people are intimidated by using, local LLMs and stuff like that. So just to kind of put you guys where I'm at as far as where I create the content. I try to create the content in a broad way. So I know that a lot of people use ChatGPT, right? I know that a lot of people maybe have heard of Claude but haven't used it. So a lot of people don't use local LLMs, at least not a lot of the people who are watching my videos. A lot of them are not, tech savvy. They're not, they probably, I'm not saying, people don't, but I'm saying a lot of them don't. So when I create when I use it and create it my way, I kind of create my videos and my, the way that I create these sleep videos is in a way that a lot of people could also replicate that, right? So I could go into like technical things of like, okay, install this LLM and then, you can kind of run this and, maybe I will get to that point because again, it's cheaper, but not everybody has, the computer to do that. Not everybody has, the resources or the time or the internet or whatever, right? But a lot of people have access to ChatGPT. So I try to make it in a way that it's, it's broadly accessible, but I do understand the appeal of doing local LLMs because they're probably cheaper and faster to run. So I'm not opposed. Like I could definitely look into it. Is that music copyright? That's a good question. I don't actually know. So probably, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Let's say I'm sure it is. Publishers, Nintendo, yes. I even specified in the video that the reason I didn't really push the channel is because Nintendo especially is very very heavy-handed in arbitration. Like they have taken down lots of stuff. They've taken down channels like music channels. They've taken down the Super Smash events that were like the unauthorized ones. Like they've gone after people like for Pokemon stuff. Like Nintendo's very litigious, right? They like to shut people down essentially. So essentially, yes, I'm not saying you should make a music channel with gaming music. I'm just explaining where I got it and what I did. So in order to try to avoid that, but that's why I didn't pursue it because I didn't, want the channel to get taken down essentially. But that's also why I adjusted it and kind of extended it to an hour. So it wasn't, it was not fair use per se, but you could make the argument that it wasn't just, I didn't just blatantly upload it. Okay. So, okay. So, I mean, this guy obviously isn't here, but I think that was on that. Okay. So suspended for circumvention, had another channel previously removed. Okay. So I did not, but I have bought channels. Okay. Like I've purchased them. And again, not suggesting people do this. I have done it to test whether or not it really gives you an advantage like people claim. And I believe that the channel that I bought is what triggered it. So I didn't have circumvented channels, but I believe that taking that is like taking that account on and then verifying it under my own stuff, I believe is what triggered it. But I was able to get all my channels back. So, it wasn't an issue in the end. But I agree with this because it's probably, they're probably right. Although it's AI that runs those things. So, okay. Certain type of script format and how much better for the script. Okay. So I'm sure the ChatGPT API is cheaper. I just think that the Claude seems to listen to your directions more. And for me, it writes a little better. Okay. You have a question, CMS. Where are you saying CMS though? That's what no, do not buy subs and views. I was talking about this in my last video. It's not worth it. So the subs are less detectable, or YouTube doesn't care as much about the subs as they do the views and the watch time. If you buy views and watch time, it's going to be external and they can deny monetization for it, which is what happened to that Dark Crimes channel. I know it seems like a shortcut. It seems like it's going to give you that leg up, but it tends to bite you in the butt. So I'm going to say don't. And even if you got the subs and they stay and stuff like that, the problem with that is like, let's say you get all the subs, you get monetized, but only a handful of the actual subs that were on your channel were real. Well, once you get monetized and you put out a new video, that's not all those people that you bought are not going to go and watch your new video, right? They're just there because they're either bot accounts or, they kind of do sub for sub or something. I don't know. But they're probably not going to watch that video. So you're going to put a new video out, and even though you have subscribers, they're not even going to watch it. So it's actually going to hurt the video. So you want people to want to watch your content, if that makes sense. If you're not getting subs or views or whatever, then you probably have to pivot the content somehow. About CMS, I don't know. I don't know. I'm assuming content management system is what they're talking about, but I don't know. So if people are just saying CMS, I couldn't tell you. Generally, in most cases, it means content management system, but I'm not sure what they're referring to in this context. Develop an automatic video creator as a SaaS product. No, because I'm stepping away from AI. Like, I would not create a product that I myself would not use myself, if that makes sense. Yes, I could probably make money off of it, but there's already tools that are coming out that are going to be automatic video creators. Maybe they'll be cheaper than TubeGen. I'm hoping so. But also the problem with that is YouTube is allowing it for now. But how long does it go where it gets to the point where they're just allowing all this AI stuff where there is no human intervention, right? So if they start taking channels down like that, because maybe there's some kind of marker in those videos, like people don't realize it, but maybe if that video is fully generated by like TubeGen or something, then they take that down. But even TubeGen, as far as I know, it just created the clips, the voiceover, and the images and stuff, but you still had to render it yourself. I don't know if that's changed. I haven't used TubeGen in months, but if it gets to the point where it outputs the entire video and it has some kind of marker in it that YouTube can detect in multiple videos, maybe they shut down all those channels. I don't know, right? So I would not create that tool, but somebody probably could and make a ton of money. Should you start a slop channel? I can't tell you what to do, but if you're looking for a low effort channel to get into, you could definitely try. I'm not going to say I suggest it per se, but if you're looking to just kind of try something with YouTube, you definitely could. If you're looking to sell a channel, you could use Accounts Market. There's also Fame Swap or Flippa. I think some people, if it has a lot of subs, you could probably sell it on Flippa, but Accounts Market, so it's like ACCTS-market or something. And then also Fame Swap, those are places you can sell the channel. You could also post it on like Reddit and stuff. I've seen people interested in buying channels on Reddit. Yeah, so you could, honestly, if your channel is monetized, I would try to find a way to make maybe just shorter videos or videos that don't take as long to make or aren't as expensive. If you have a monetized channel, you could still do something with it. Just if it's not shadow banned, then a monetized channel is kind of where you want to be. That's the sweet spot. So there might be a way to still pull it off, or maybe you could do shorter videos, or shorts or something. I'm not saying you have to, but if you have just a monetized channel, people can get monetized channels pretty easily. Okay. So buying a monetized channel. So pretty much the same places that I just talked about selling channels is also where you would buy them. Like if you were going to buy one, you can go, like I said, Accounts Market or Fame Swap. There's a lot of other like websites out there. I don't recommend a lot of them because a lot of them are scams. You can buy pre-monetized accounts that are like pretty safe. I don't remember all the websites, but essentially it is and it's not kind of a time saver, and I'll explain why. So I have bought monetized accounts. Okay, be very honest about that. Yes, it's already monetized, so you've saved on the effort of getting it monetized. The problem is that generally when you buy these accounts, they are in a niche that is unrelated to the thing that you plan on making your content in. So let's say I bought an account and it already had 1,000 subs on it, and it had the watch time. Well, the account is probably going to be on something completely unrelated to what you're going to make your content on. And so now you're switching all of the time and effort on the channel to this other format, right? And if they use bots or whatever to get it monetized, or whatever, then you can start making money once you start posting on the channel with the new content. But the problem is that, again, those people that are on that channel that was monetized are probably not going to watch the new content you're putting out. So it may hurt you. Now, if the content you're putting out is strong enough, you can get some momentum and start making that money, on that content, that new content. So you would have to try to find a way to, I don't know, get some traction on that. Using Google Ads on a monetized account is not a good idea though. So is it a leg up? Yes and no. It is in the fact that you don't have to go through the work of getting it monetized, but it's not in the fact that the people that are already monetized are not going to watch it. So you're not going to get any momentum on your videos when you put them out, and you're basically starting from the ground up. So unless you can, now Shorts is different. Shorts is a little different. As long as the account is not limited, right? You can buy a monetized account and start putting shorts out. And if you plan on putting out, high quality shorts, or, a decent amount of shorts that will kind of start making money, Shorts is a little bit different of a game. If you're doing long form, you really want to make sure that whatever you start putting on that channel is going to get views right away, so that you can, kind of recoup the cost of paying for the channel. Like Lord of RPG, the channel that kind of started all of this, that channel was not monetized. Like, that was a brand new channel. I didn't warm it up. Within a day, I was posting videos to it. And this is actually something I wanted to talk about. I'm going to talk about this more in another video, but I want to talk about the content wall. So I want to talk about, oh, okay, cool. He's live streaming right now, so I'm going to show him.
They smell like.
So I'm just going to pause this. But I talked about this guy in my last video. I'm going to open up his channel. So I want to show you something. This guy started posting a couple weeks ago. Okay, well, 3 weeks ago now. But then the one video blew up right here, 250K. Okay. What I want to point something out. If you look at his thumbnails here, these are not really getting, they're getting some views now, right? But these are not getting nearly the views that these ones are. Okay. These are the newest videos, but what do you notice about these videos? They're all the similar style. Okay. And it's almost the same kind of video, right? It's gameplay over this. These are probably all the same thing too, but you can see that these are not the same thing as these. These are all very similar, very similar. So we talk about, kind of having a brand. Okay. So this guy, this video started blowing up, and it started pulling up these videos too. Now, these are the newer videos, but my point is that it's not really pulling these videos up. Okay. There's something that this guy, Nate Black, he does YouTube. He talks about the content wall, right? So what he says is that when you have a new channel, you want to put out 3 to 5 videos right away, like within the same day, or usually within like the same week, but generally like the same day, as in 3 videos. You can space them out within a few hours. That's fine. YouTube has stated many times that when you post your videos does not matter. Okay. The reason for this is because if you just post one video to a brand new channel, YouTube is not really going to understand the audience for that channel. You could have the best tags, you could have a good description, you could have SEO and all this stuff, right? But the point is that your YouTube doesn't know what the channel's about, okay? But if you go in and you post multiple videos within the first couple days, YouTube will quickly understand what your channel's about, especially if the videos are, again, on brand and they're all similar in nature. I'm not saying they have to be the same topics, but similar in nature. And so Lord of RPG, I posted those videos. I posted like 2 or 3 videos the very first, within the first 24 hours, I was already posting videos, and I was posting like 2 videos every single day. And so YouTube very quickly, I gained a lot of momentum because YouTube very quickly understood what the channel was about and found an audience. So you kind of have to move quickly. And basically what I would tell people is, if you're starting a brand new channel, like, you want to kind of store up some videos and then just post them all at the same time. So the content wall is what I would suggest, regardless of whether it's monetized or not. Is it useless? It's not useless per se. It's just the people just know this going in. If you buy a monetized channel, the audience that's already there that they use to monetize it are not going to watch your new videos. So you will have to build it from scratch, but it is monetized. So you can generally get monetized accounts for under $200. And you could just kind of shortcut that process. The other thing is you can buy a monetized channel and then still not get any views because the niche is not tested. So here would be kind of my suggestion. Let's say that you have an account, an account right now that has gotten some views, but not enough to get you monetized. You've gotten views, maybe you've gotten subscribers, you've gotten some watch time, but it's just not enough to get you monetized. Like, it's a very slow kind of momentum. You could consider, again, not suggesting it, you just could consider getting a monetized account, rebranding it to something very similar, and then moving that content to the monetized account because you already know that it got some views and some watch time. Now you could put it on there and at least, it might make sense on the dollar, but it's making you more than it was before. But you have to kind of weigh that cost of, is $150 to $200 for an account worth maybe not making that right away back, right? So even when Lord of RPG got, monetized, it was probably another week or so before I was breaking, $20 to $50 to $100 a day. Okay. So obviously that's a good amount of time still, but my point is a lot of people think that just because they have a monetized account, they're going to start making a ton of money. That's not how it works, right? You can have the monetized account and still not get views. Okay. So I even showed my Lord of Horror channel and it's monetized, but only makes $40 a month. It's not nothing, right? I'm not complaining, but I did, even that one was not a channel I bought. I built it up. But my point is that it's monetized and it's not making, crazy money. So, okay. Multiple channels. And if one is demonetized and I created an appeal and it got remonetized, but after remonetization, should I change the AdSense to, no, you shouldn't have to change anything. You shouldn't actually have multiple AdSense accounts. I think that's against their TOS. But if you get it remonetized, you should be fine. Like I got all my channels back and I didn't have any issues. So, you still do live streams on the faceless channels. Are they monetizable? Yes. I think I said this earlier. Live streams are monetizable if you're monetized. That is a strategy you could consider. And that's actually something I didn't think about. I appreciate you bringing that up, Tay, because that is a possibility that you have a monetized channel and then you just start using it for live streams and you can make some passive money if the topics are interesting enough that people come and watch the videos. I think when I ran the live streams, I made a few dollars a day. So it was like nothing. But again, watch the live streams, I would say, are not great for money, but they are good for getting eyeballs. So, getting attention, getting people onto, the channel to subscribe or watch or whatever. Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, no worries, old times. I appreciate that. And happy Thanksgiving to you as well. So podcast channel, monetizable or not? I don't know. So I couldn't say. I actually, so I got reached out to by a different company to promote their product as well. And essentially what they do is that they take Notebook LLM and then they run it through basically these AI avatars. So it's a AI podcast, but it's with, these two AI avatars like talking back and forth about whatever the topic is that you put into Notebook LLM. And I'm assuming that would be monetizable, but I don't know for sure if just taking Notebook LLM videos and putting them on YouTube are monetizable. Because I think that YouTube really wants people to have a hand in the videos they're creating, but I couldn't say whether or not it would be monetizable. I guess you could always try it, just put it on a throwaway account and see if it gets views or if it even gets traction, but I couldn't say for sure. Double dipping with live streams and making shorts out of the highlights. Oh, you mean for here, like on this channel, like clipping my own videos for this channel and then making shorts? I hadn't considered it. I guess it's an option. I have used Opus Clip and used it to make clips of like the videos that I did with my wife. I did use Opus Clip for that. There's a lot more tools like that now, but no, I haven't thought about doing shorts for this channel. I guess I could always try it. Pay for the lowest tier of like a service like that, and then run it and see if they even get views. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is an option. I never thought about it. Okay, you talking about the explainer videos for Notebook LLM? Yes, that's what I'm talking about, because like you can put all this information into it and then it creates like an explanation video. See, I had considered that too. Like, can you just take those videos and upload them to YouTube? Here's the problem, that because I'm pretty sure Notebook LLM is a Google product, they would know if you did that. So if they ever get to the point where they want to handicap that, then it may affect you in the future. So again, kind of my recommendation is always trying to add something to the videos so they're not just 100% AI generated. So if you're going to go the Notebook LLM route and take those videos, add something to it, some kind of visual or some kind of like music or something to it to make it your own, so it's not just Notebook LLM's video, so that you kind of, I just always want to run on the safe side. So I always try to make things my own so that it's not 100% AI. 5 or 6 lives every weekend. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about in my like videos, the Lord RPG, I think the most viewers it had at one point was like 100 viewers. So if people are watching for a long time, yeah, you could probably make money on the ads. If you can get thousands of people watching your live stream, then you for sure can make money on the ads. For me, they personally like weren't profitable, but I'm not saying you can't run them. Yeah, yeah, 0 impressions. If you're getting 0 impressions, then it probably is the channel. And I don't know, like if you have multiple channels that are getting 0 impressions, it could just be your account. Like you could try a new email account and then start putting videos on a new email address and see if that fixes the problem. But try shorts. So essentially, if you try shorts and the shorts are getting 0 views and 0 impressions, then it's the account. So I would say maybe try a new email address and create that. AI generated music, monetizable. As far as I know, it is, but you would have to have something in the video that is moving. So like some kind of moving image. So like, let me give you an example. So if we do, so this is a AI music channel, right? So of course they have an ad.
I chose the domain name Josh Harmon.
Which is fine. I mean, I have ads, so. Okay, so this channel is just AI music. Oh, it looks like they don't even have an animation. I thought they did. Well, this channel's up, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, obviously you saw that they're monetized. They're using some kind of tool to do this because all of their videos are about the same length. But I would add something to this, right? I would not just do that. Is this pause maybe? No. Apparently you can get away with it. I personally wouldn't. I would at least have some kind of animation at the very beginning and then maybe a static image after that, or just some kind of effect over this. But yes, the RPM is low. Yeah, that's probably true because they pumped them out. Because what's funny is I don't know if these channels are still printing or not as far as views. I guess they're still getting decent views. I mean, these are not terrible. It's not like it was before. Like when these channels were blowing up months ago, they were getting, 5, 6 figure views. Now they're a lot lower. But I mean, even at a, $2 RPM, I guess you're still making $10. I don't know, $10. And, you can put out one of these every couple days or something. So, collectively you can, 11 million views. So it's like you can still make some decent money. So I still would, like I said, I would probably still put some kind of effect over it. But you can do them. I mean, that's all these are, is AI music videos, and they just have like a niche, right? So yes, you can do it. And these videos are up. I can't say that they always will, but yeah, a lot of these music channels are like this. Like every few days, it's a brand new music channel, and it's all AI generated. 3 hours? Geez, I didn't realize that these ones are. So like this is 3 hours, and that other one was 1 hour, right? So pause maybe. So let's take a look at this one. So this one is jazz music, and they have 7 million views, almost 8 million. And these are only an hour long. Latest is 471. Okay, so 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So the thing is like everybody thinks that this is the way to go, right? Just putting out more of the same thing, but it's going to get stale after a while. And this is kind of one of the reasons I also kind of am getting away from doing these types of videos. It's like you will have probably people who are kind of hardcore viewers or fans or whatever, and these people are on Spotify. But again, if they ever start actually cracking down on AI art, this is AI. I guarantee you this is AI. So MindQ, I don't know what that is. Oh, is this a channel that you have, or? I don't know. I mean, visually it's good, but I couldn't say why it's not getting views. There's a lot of psychology channels. I don't think that the art is bad or anything, so I don't know if this is your channel or not, but you would probably have to differentiate. If it's not shadow banned, then probably look at either a keyword or maybe a different, I don't know, you could try this on another channel. If you're getting 0 impressions or very, very few impressions, it's probably limited. You could try it on a new channel. I don't think this is a bad setup, but I mean, not every channel makes it. And that's another thing that kind of pisses me off about these kind of gurus, is they make it like, oh, you just follow this strategy, you will make it. I've been very upfront that I have channels that did not make it. So I just kept trying new channels, new things. And I'm not saying you should run out and try a bunch of different things. What I'm saying is, I didn't just kind of get stuck and like, oh, it's not going to work, and just try a different thing, right? Try it for a while. If it does not take off, no, just try something else. So if you're not getting impressions, it may be this actual channel. If you are getting impressions and not the views, this could just be people are just not interested. There's a lot of psychology channels, so I don't think it's a bad setup though. So I actually don't hate it. TV frame background looping with jazz music. I mean, yeah, I think it could work. Again, people equate complex with what people find interesting. So like what you and I find value about, someone else may not, right? And kind of vice versa. So like the sleep channels, right? I don't really listen to sleep channels, so I was making something I don't even listen to. But I know other people that literally do listen to channels like that to fall asleep to. So it's like, even though I don't necessarily find the value in it, other people did. And people would say that in the comments, right? But they also said AI slops. So it's kind of funny. But some people were like, yeah, this really helped me fall asleep. So it's like there is a benefit to some of that. 4 impressions is pretty low, so it might be the channel. So I would, you could always try creating a new channel and then just slowly kind of moving the content, like one video at a time, or move them all at the same time. It doesn't really matter, and just see if it makes a difference, or make a similar video, put it on a new channel, and see if it gets views. So 4 impressions is pretty low. It could be your SEO, your tags, or something like that, but yeah, I couldn't say for sure. Okay, so as far as the image generator tool, I don't know if they updated some of the APIs. I can try to get Claude to fix or update it. Like I said in the videos, Claude has just gotten to the point where it's just messing up over and over again. I might be able to take the code and put it into Gemini and see if Gemini can fix it. But I don't have the time right now per se, but I can definitely look into seeing if I can fix it. So I don't know. On new channels, you can start to get impressions after a week or so. I got impressions right away, so I don't think that's necessarily true. What I was talking about earlier might be the solution to that is posting multiple videos within the first couple of days so that YouTube knows immediately what your channel's about. So on Lord of RPG, I had tags, I had the description, and then when I was posting the videos, I did use tags, description, title, all of that. Like I said, once the channel's established, it's not as important, but if you're establishing channel, putting multiple videos right up front so YouTube knows that your channel is this thing, it's about this thing, then it kind of gives them a better idea of who to serve it to. So if you just put out one video and then wait a while and then another video and wait a while, unless that video goes viral right off the bat, it's a lot harder. So putting out a lot of videos up front is actually kind of, I think, how you get that initial traction. I'm not saying it has to be, multiple videos every single day, but at least a few videos right up front so that it knows what the channel's about. This is actually a theory that a lot of people have had about Google for a long time. Even when I was doing internet marketing and, blogs were the big thing, posting an article every day on a blog was the recommended thing. And this was way before YouTube was as big as it was, because it was suggested that Google basically prioritized fresh content. And so because they prioritized fresh content, or at least at the time, you wanted to post a new article every day so that Google knew to keep coming back, right? So you're signaling to Google like, hey, yeah, this is going to have fresh content, so that it prioritizes your website. I don't know if that was true or not, but it didn't hurt to do that. I think that YouTube, because it's owned by Google, may be similar. If you look at Eddie Eisner, the guy that does TubeGen, all of his initial channels, dude, he was posting, like he even said in his Discord, like if they were long, like ultra long form, like over an hour, then he was posting like 2 to 3 every single day. And if it was shorter long form, like 15 to 20 minutes, this guy was posting 6 to 8 videos a day. And that's right off the bat. So he would just have a channel, make the channel, and just start posting. So he didn't warm it up. I know that a lot of people say you have to warm up accounts. I think that's more for shorts than long form. But putting the content on the channel right away and having it all come out at the same time, this does a couple things. And this is actually a Mr. Beast suggestion. So, I don't agree with Mr. Beast on everything. I don't even watch his videos. My kids have. But I will say that the guy knows YouTube. And one of the things that he has suggested is that on a brand new channel, put 5 videos immediately. 5 is what he suggests. The reason for this is kind of the reason that, that this guy, his channel, I think kind of blew up as well. Because if you think about it, if this video right here blows up, right? What is YouTube going to recommend if people watch this video like all the way through, or they engage with it? They're going to watch more of his videos. Well, what is YouTube going to recommend? It's going to recommend the videos that are newest and that are already performing well. So it's going to bring these up. This is also why I brought this up earlier, because the content wall is that these videos, these ones were already a little more viewed than these. So what is it going to recommend? It's going to recommend its best performing videos already, right? And now these are all going to recommend each other on people's home feeds when they sign in, on the recommended on the sidebar, and in general, when they come to YouTube, to his channel, these will probably be at the top. If he has the home tab and it says suggested for you, these are going to be at the top, right? The best performing videos. So my point with that is that on a new channel, you almost want to brute force YouTube into knowing what your channel's about. this is not just me saying this. This is something that, again, Mr. Beast has suggested, that on a channel, you want to post a lot of content up front so YouTube has no doubts about what your channel is. Now, am I saying that that is going to guarantee success? Am I saying that, that is going to make or break a channel? No. But I'm telling you that I dispelled that myth with Lore to RBG. I literally started posting within a day of creating the channel, and it was multiple videos. That channel took off within a week. Like, as in within a week, I was already getting hundreds of views on videos. Now, again, I think that the topics I went into, the niche that I got into, was underserved, and that's kind of what you want to look at for your niche. What angle can you present for your niche that is not already presented? And if you can't do that, and you already have your content already made, or you have the content in there, just try it. Like, if this channel is not working out, create a new channel. It costs nothing to create a new channel. Create a new channel. You could even use the same name, banner, and everything, just, a slightly different user handle. And then take those videos, take them down off your initial channel, just move them right over to the new channel, all at the same time. So within a day of creating it, you just literally just put all of those videos out within a few hours of each other. Because if one of those videos happens to take off, what is it going to suggest? The other videos that you have. So this is something that Nate Black has talked about, the content wall. This is something Mr. Beast has talked about, because you want people, if they find those videos and they like them, do you want only one video to be there, or do you want multiple videos to really pull them in and get them hooked on your content while you have momentum? And that's what this guy is doing with his channel, right? He's live streaming right now. He put out another video like a few days after this one kind of blew up. He even said like he was kind of scared to post again, but he eventually did, and he's going to be posting more. So he's capitalizing on it. So, and that wasn't even his first video. So I would not be discouraged. Like, if you're not getting any views, you're getting almost no impressions, just try it. Like, what do you have to lose? Because you could always keep this channel. I'm not saying take this down. Just create a brand new channel with a different user, like a different handle, but you could even use the same username, same everything. And then just move all this content and just put it on the new channel all at the same time, or at least on the same day, and see if it does any better. If it's the same story and it's just not happening, then one of two things is happening. One, the content is just not interesting, which I don't think that these are bad thumbnails. So I would say that this is not a bad setup. So either people are just not interested, so it's not, they're not going to watch it, or it could be something with your overall account, like your actual email address maybe has some kind of shadow ban or something. I couldn't say because I'm not in your account, but I would say you have nothing to lose trying to move it to a new channel. Again, I talked about that short that I moved earlier. Had it on one channel, 0 views, 0 impressions. Moved that same short to another channel that was slightly relevant, and it got views immediately. So just saying, like, YouTube is just a game. I think because we build up these channels, like, we just expect them to take off. We expect to be, we expect them to get views. And even if you put in effort, you expect to be rewarded for your efforts. Unfortunately, YouTube is not fair, right? And I don't say that in any, way against YouTube. It's just, it's not fair. Like, not everybody makes it, and you do one thing slightly wrong and they, penalize you. So my point is don't get beholden to the channel. Like, if the channel works out, great. If it doesn't work out, just make another one. Like, they're free to make. So, I would, but if you also have another email address, maybe try it on a different email address. Okay. GPU I ran on Kokoro. Oh, you're asking that guy. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. So Abul, if you put your link on the post video that I have, I don't know where it went. Oh, this one. If you have a channel that you want reviewed, put it here. Just because I probably won't live stream much longer than this, but I plan on doing a video where I just review channels. So put it on that one. Okay. Can you do that? Upload your own videos on a different channel? Yeah. I mean, you own them. But you don't want them on 2 different channels at the same time is the issue. So YouTube penalizes duplicate content, and they basically suppress duplicate content. Now people get away with it somehow. A lot of people just add one thing and then it passes duplicate content. But if you notice that a lot of people who create brand new channels that are the exact same thing as somebody else's stuff, generally those channels just don't make, they don't take off. And YouTube's not going to spend the time to go after every duplicate channel because it's hard to tell what exactly is duplicate. So yes, you can re-upload your content to a different channel. You just don't want duplicates of the content because they could penalize it. So I would say yes, it's your content. You can move it. Just don't have 2 copies of it on the same time. Okay, is it good to make shorts and long form videos different sub niches? I would not do different sub niches on the same channel. No, especially now. As far as making shorts and long form on the same channel, a lot of people are split on this. I think that you should split them. And the reason is that generally speaking, shorts viewers do not translate to long form viewers. If you look at channels that were primarily shorts channels that tried to put out long form content, most of the time it doesn't work, right? Now you can always do a short to link to a long form video, and you can try to kind of funnel people to the long form. You definitely can do that. If you're just looking to get eyeballs like subscribers or views, then yeah, do it. But if you're trying to make money off of it, shorts and long form generally they don't necessarily mix. And if you look at like some of the biggest channels on YouTube, like Asmongold, right? I'm not saying that I agree with everything that he does, but he has 3 separate channels, maybe 4, but 3 that I know of. He has kind of like a shorts channel. He's got like a short form channel, but that's not shorts. It's like generally the videos are like less than 10 minutes, right? They're usually like 3 to 5 minutes. And then he has another one that's long form. So like the videos are over 10 minutes, generally like 10 minutes to an hour. And the reason he does that is because each one of those audiences is different, right? People who watch shorts don't always watch long form. People who watch long form don't always watch shorts. I see people complain about shorts all the time. They keep saying, I don't want shorts, and they keep getting recommended shorts. YouTube's going to push them, so whatever. My point is that the audiences aren't the same. So it just kind of depends on what you're trying to do. If you're just trying to, build up your channel and raise awareness, then yes, you can do both. If you're trying to captivate 2 different audiences, then, it's really up to you. I've seen people do both. I would say I recommend doing shorts on a separate channel if you're trying to, just go the shorts route. But if you're just trying to get awareness, trying to build an audience, you could do both. I appreciate you. 15 videos and they're just not getting views. Then yeah, I mean it's hard to say. Okay. Yeah. I'll be probably reviewing channels in the next few days. Okay, so if you're doing both and only the shorts are working, then that's I would say that's probably why. Because 1, yes, YouTube is going to push shorts, but 2, like I said, they're just 2 different audiences. So it's hard to bring shorts viewers over to long form. It's just hard. And if you look, a lot of the biggest channels, they separate them out. They'll tend to put one on one and one on the other. Like shorts are great for views, but not necessarily money. I mean, unless that you're a strictly shorts channel and you know how to monetize that really well. But shorts are great for views. Long form is where a lot of the money is made. I mean, if you think about it, you get 1 million views on a short, that's nothing. But you get 1 million views on a long form, that's thousands and thousands of dollars regardless of the RPM. Who are you talking to about managing 50 plus channels? If you're talking to me, I'm not saying they're all active. So I have, 30 plus channels, but they're not all active. And that is a problem because I struggle with sticking with one thing, for long periods of time. I don't know if I have ADHD. I've never got it tested, and I think I just struggle with finishing things. And so I would start a channel, wouldn't see results after a few videos and just move on. So I've had to learn to stick with things for at least an extended amount of time before just kind of giving up. Yeah, there is definitely a lot of options. And I know you're talking to him, but yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with that. I think that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about as far as the channels. Oh, no problem, Emmanuel. I appreciate it. Yeah, you can definitely use AI to manage a lot of those channels. I'm sure you can. I'm sure there's a lot of tools and stuff that you can set out. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is an interesting suggestion for like IP, like getting around kind of the IP ban is using other tools to upload your video. So you upload it to a third party site and then the third party site uploads it. Yeah, I didn't think about using like the editing software to schedule it or to upload. That's actually a good idea. Maybe I'll try that with a video and just try to upload it through the editing software or some other tool like Buffer or something like that. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I appreciate that. 60-minute scripts turned into voiceovers. So if you're talking about like voiceover software like text to speech, I use Gen AI Pro. So I just basically, with Gen AI Pro, you can upload a document and it'll transcribe it, or you can upload just raw text and do that, and then just take that and put that into your video. As far as AI, yeah, AI is taking over, and I think that the content platforms, they're allowing a lot of it right now, but I do think they are going to realize how much it is impacting them to just allow AI slop essentially. And I think it's going to be a little difficult for them to differentiate, what is kind of human intervention versus just purely AI. But I think that they will implement tools to be able to do that. Like, for instance, for music, so there's a streaming platform called Deezer, and I'm pretty sure it's them, and they have like a tool that they built to be able to tell if the music uploaded to their platform is AI or not, and with 99% accuracy. And so people will claim that it's not AI, and they will be able to run their own tool to see if it is, because all of these AI sites, when they make the music, it has some kind of marker in it that shows whether or not, it was generated with their tool, right? There's some kind of marker in the structure of the file or something that they can tell. So that's kind of my point, is just using tools to fully automate everything and having it upload that way. It leaves markers, but if you run it through your own video editing software and then upload it, then it's a lot harder for it to tell, and you can make the argument that there was human intervention. The Google speech, I mean, people use the Google AI like studio voiceovers, and they are monetized. So yes, I believe they are. I don't personally like them, but like I talked about earlier, you can run them through like Adobe Enhanced Speech, and it kind of helps make the voice a little bit better. There's probably other tools out there to enhance the voice or make it better, or you could put it in like an Audacity and find some plugins, or just kind of mess with it. But I would take if I'm using like a text-to-speech voice that kind of has that artifact sound in it where it sounds a little robotic, run it through something else to make it sound a little better. Actually, even I don't know if CapCut has this, but DaVinci actually has an AI tool in it now where you can use this AI tool to, let me see. Okay, so this is my latest video that I did, right, where I uploaded. I didn't even know I had a project open, but they have a tool called Audio Assistant in, I don't know if this is in the free version or just the paid. It's probably just in the paid version, but you can auto mix for YouTube. And what it does is it goes through and it actually like levels it out. It kind of smooths it and it kind of adds bass. So there's probably other tools like that can do that. I'll just cancel that and minimize. So you can use tools like that to enhance like a Google AI voice or text to speech that doesn't sound necessarily as human. That's good to know. That's good to know about using DaVinci and Buffer to upload to get past like shadow ban. I actually never heard of doing that, so that's good. I appreciate that. Podcast videos, do I think they're oversaturated? I think everything's oversaturated, to be honest. And with AI, everything will be more saturated. But this is why I say, like, if you're gonna do it, just do it, and find something that makes you stand out, right? So it's like Mr. Ballin already has his main channel where he talks. So it's like we already know these are like horror stories, right? So you would have to find something that probably differentiates, or you would have to beat them on SEO or trending topics. You could try to capitalize on trending topics. So like if people are searching things on Google Trends, or you can find an AI tool that will help you to find trending, topics in your niche. You want to capitalize on that as well, because that will help you get found faster. So finding trending topics is definitely a hack to be able to, get into getting traffic right away. So doing that. But yeah, I think a lot of niche, like all niches, are saturated. Thinking of making a channel. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna run it, right? My point with that is that just pick how you're going to approach it and just kind of go all in. But like I said, if you're going to create a new channel, put in a few videos right within the first couple days, generally within the first day or two. Just put a bunch of videos all at once. So I'd say 3 videos minimum, just again, so that YouTube really knows what the channel is about, and it doesn't kind of have to just find an audience. It'll know right away what it's about. Awesome. Appreciate it. Should you continue? Let's see. If you're kind of doing the same thing, then yeah. I mean, my channels still work, right? My method is not as automated as some other methods. And again, I kind of create my content in a way where most people can replicate it. So it's like tools like TubeGen. It's a lot easier, right? But it's expensive. And a lot of people just don't have the money to do that. So using simple tools as cheap as possible, like using, well, maybe ChatGPT and or Claude is kind of the most expensive next to Gen AI. But getting the images done, you can use like Meta AI to generate images. You can use the image generation tool that I created, even though it's been having issues, so I'm gonna have to look into it. You can use a lot of tools to make images for free now, so you don't even need to pay for that. And then for the audio, you can find copyright music, or you can make it on Suno or something and just loop it. So, essentially for $50 a month or so, you could probably, you can make these videos. So I'm not saying that they're the best videos or the best route to take, but if you're looking for cheaper videos to make, this is definitely a way to go. Uploading a short or TikTok for growing a channel. I don't use TikTok, so I couldn't say. Well, I don't post on TikTok, I should say. I do have a TikTok, but I don't really post on it. As far as a lot of the big guys, they just say 1 a day. But if you start gaining traction, then start posting, 2 to 3 a day. I probably would not post more than 3 times a day, really long form or short form. Like ultra long form, no. I probably wouldn't do more than 3 a day. And then as far as, shorts, probably same thing, like 2 to 3 a day. Although there are channels that post 7 videos a day and they have no issues, but they're probably more established. So I probably wouldn't start there. You could probably just slowly maybe ratchet it up. 3 is probably a good number, regardless of whether it's long form or short form. You can create using VO as well. Yeah, you can use VO. I think you still have to have the subscription, right, for VO. But there are tools now that have access to VO, so you can probably use the tools to create videos through that, and it's cheaper than going through VO itself. But Yeah, I actually don't hate VO. And now that they have both vertical and horizontal video, it's a lot better. Um, Leonardo, I've never really had good results with Leonardo AI for images, but a lot of people talk about them. Like I guess I probably just picked the wrong models or my prompts were not very good. A lot of people really love Leonardo. I didn't have good luck with it, but I've been using Midjourney since it came out. So yeah, no problem. I would say 3 is probably a good number. Like long form, again, I don't think YouTube treats long form and short form the same. So I think that, shorts, you do have to kind of slowly work it up. Long form, you can just, again, on my channel, I just started pumping out 2 to 3 videos a day and had no issues. So I don't think they're treated quite the same. Okay. So if there's any final questions, I'll probably cut it here. So it's after midnight for me, so probably going to go to sleep pretty soon. If anyone has any other last questions, I can try to. Should I continue or quit? Well, I'm not going to review any more channels tonight because I'm going to get off, but put your channels on my community. Dang it, I keep going to the wrong one. I don't know where it was. I think it was this one. So post your channels here on this community post, and I will try to take a look in the next couple of days when I record again. Poppy AI. So I never really used it. I used it like a free trial of it like months and months ago. Supposedly it's way better now, and a lot of people actually suggest it. I'm sure that Poppy AI is really good, but it's not cheap. So you just have to know what you're doing with Poppy AI before you go into it. I'm sure it's actually really good, but I just have not put the money up for it. And again, I don't want to promote something that I'm not actively using, or people don't, if a lot of my viewers don't have money, because I get a lot of viewers from people just don't have a lot of money, or they're from other countries and don't have a lot of money. So it's like, yeah, Poppy AI might work, but if they already don't have the money for that, then whatever. But yeah, I appreciate the donations. You have a good night as well, and that's awesome. That's yeah, Poppy. If you have suggestions for Poppy, leave them like on my community tab or a video or something. I might look into Poppy a little bit more because again, I've heard it's really good. I tried it a little bit, wasn't quite sure how to use it, and again, that was months ago, so I've heard it's gotten even better. So Poppy AI might be a way to go, but $1,000 a year, again, it might be worth the money, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a lot of my viewers could also invest in that. So diversify channels. How much of AI human hybrid channels should be in 100 channels? Well, 100's a lot. It's really up to you, right? You can do whatever you want. Some people just only use AI for everything, and I don't agree with it. I like having the human amount, like just a little bit of human to it, right? That way, again, it just doesn't come off as fully AI generated. But if you were going to go like a portfolio, probably, hybrid channels is probably a way to go. You could probably always try the AI, just having a bunch of AI channels, maybe on one email address, and then try on a different one for some of the other ones. But yeah. But 100 channels is a lot. So unless you do have some kind of way to manage all that, that's too much for me. Even having like 3 channels is a lot for me. So I could always try to outsource. That's another thing that I could probably make a video about. I've lost thousands of dollars to outsourcing to freelancers. It just none of them are really. It's like they either used scrupulous methods, like they used botting and stuff, or the content they made just wasn't good, or they just were never on time. It's very hard. You do have to test them a lot in order to find someone to do that. But for these videos, it's probably not worth. I don't know if it's worth outsourcing. I guess you could probably find someone to systemize this, and if you had a process, then you could just hand that off to someone. But yeah. That's funny. All automated? That's insane. Outsource makes sense, but yeah. Yeah, Poppy AI. So Poppy AI is basically like this tool where you set up almost like a workflow, kind of like, it's not as complicated as like N8N, but a lot of people use it for like writing scripts and coming up with stuff like that. So they'll plug in a bunch of input sources, and then you get like an output. So essentially they'll plug in a bunch of like examples of scripts that they want it to write, and then it will write a script based on that, kind of like that. But there's more to it. That's just what a lot of people use it for, like on the YouTube side. But I'm sure there's a lot more you can do it to get like maybe images or video or something. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna head out, so I'm gonna cut this off. I appreciate all of you. I'm grateful for everyone who watches the videos, comments. Like it's been a lot of fun being able to interact and also just help people out and just, I guess, encourage people. But I will also, like I said, probably in the next couple of days, I will do a video talking about, like, just going over more channels and talking about, other things, I guess. But I will look into using Gemini for the image generation tool and see if that's any better. So that's funny. That's awesome. I mean, if you can use N8N and you understand it and you can, work all of those channels and have them run in the background. The only thing I would say for that is probably you're probably paying for all those API costs, right? I don't know. I don't know when I'll go live again. So it just depends. I record all my videos like late at night when my wife and kids have gone to bed. And so when I have a little bit of time to myself, that's generally when I record, just because the house is quiet. So don't know when I'll be able to go live, but everybody fell asleep after Thanksgiving or they stayed the night at a family member's house. So, I just figured I had some time. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and stop it. I will see you guys in another video. Okay.